Again, today's top stories. London has endured another night of German bombing. Most damage was concentrated in the East End. The RAF has struck enemy aerodromes in Le Havre and the Low Countries. In Russia, further German losses are reported around Lenin. Once again, today's top...
About time you're awake. You're 2 weeks late with the rent. War or no war, the tenant in arrears is not the tenant I'll put up with. You don't pay by today, it's the street. Promise.
See here, this isn't about your dedication. Pringle certainly attests to your loyalty. No, your dismissal stems from the Titanic mission. That failure can no longer be ignored, especially now. I am sorry, but someone must shoulder the blame. The service, you understand. We can't be held responsible. The past, forever locked in regret. But what if the past could be changed? Years have come and gone since the night that saw the end of a world, my world. The service needed someone on the Titanic. They chose me. I was to wait for a signal from my contact, so I remained in my cabin. I left only once Georgia was on board. And that's when it came. There'd be no second chance. It was Sunday, April 14th. Too late, you see, for the Titanic. For me. What if I'd met with my contact, prevented disaster? What if the past could be changed? What then?
Good evening. I am Smethles, your steward, and, if I may say so, it is good to see you up and about. You've been in your cabin the whole voyage. A touch of the mal de mer, was it? Seasickness can be quite unpleasant, especially if it's one's first crossing. Since you haven't been out of your cabin, may I instruct you on how to get assistance while on board the Titanic? Very well. Your correspondence. 2,200 on board, and they all want messages delivered promptly. Here, a map of the ship for you. Compliments of the White Star Line. I have taken the liberty of indicating your cabin, C-73. Of course, on a Sunday evening at this hour, there won't be many people out. Will there be anything else? Have you unpacked? You'll find your trunk key in your bag on the bed. If you require additional assistance, please ring the bell by the door. Good night.
day indoors, cold as the dickens outside. Cold but clear. Clear as a bell, and the stars, oh, you should see 1,000,000 stars in God's firmament. A congregation of light. The name's Trout. The Reverend Edgar. I'm returning from a mission in Africa, to Sunapee, New Hampshire, where I live. Emily, my wife, she's dead. Thank you. We had looked forward to this journey. But she died at Port Said, though it was Nyasaland that killed her. The doctors, you know, never did find all the parasites. We've just ended a hymn sing in the second-class lounge. It's the Titanic's first Sunday afloat. For all those in peril on the sea. Tell me, are you religious? Do not forget God, and do not collude with the godless. There are many on this ship. Leyland Trask, for example, a seer, a clairvoyant. He claims the most outrageous blasphemy. Remember, that which does not come from God is not of God. Wait, before you leave, I was wondering, perhaps you'd care to make a donation to our mission in Nyasaland. I am very happy. I shall call upon you tomorrow to discuss it. Good evening.
It's about time. You're late. Another 5 minutes and I'd have cancelled your mission. Yes, I'm Pringle. Penny Pringle. From the Bureau of Secrets. You didn't think they'd plunk you down on this bucket of bolts and millionaires alone, did you? What a botch-up. Some idiot in the War Office booked me into second, not first class, and I've had a fine time of it too. The crew wouldn't let me in the first cabin at all. It's just today I located you. Look at this. A German colonel named Zeitel. He's inspecting their embassies in Havana, Washington, and Mexico City. We know better. 10 days ago, the Bureau got word that Zeitel has in his possession a priceless copy of the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam, stolen 2 months ago in Paris after its purchase by a very highly placed member of His Majesty's government. The Rubaiyat's a book, a collection of medieval Persian poetry, a passion of his lordship's. Poetry. Persians. The German High Command must think it's important enough to have their top man smuggle the lot on board. Of course. Didn't they tell you anything? His lordship's watching this very closely. Very closely indeed. I wouldn't fumble this chance either, unless you fancy spending the rest of your career in some grotty Midlands back office shuffling paper about. No. He's with the protégé. Name of Heidelitz, I believe. The two spend a great deal of time in the Café Parisien. Nibbling pastries. Get into the wireless room. I don't know or care how. Officer Morrow wouldn't let me in. See if Zeitel's received or sent any telegrams about the Rubai. You've got a cryptograph in your trunk. It'll unscramble the German codes. You use the brains God gave you. Watch people. Listen when you find the Rubaiyat. Knock on my door. Cabin F, 34. Use the second-class stairs. You should be set. Remember, this is your big chance. Don't fail.
You came after all this time. It's Georgia. I'd heard you were on board. Where have you been? Who am I? But it's Georgia. The one person you could tell anything to. I don't blame you for not speaking to me. You told me once I cared only for a title. Well, I've got that now. I'm Lady Georgia, wife to Charles, Lord Only it's all gone so wrong. Why on earth didn't you find me earlier? It's been 5 years. I'd have waited a lot longer to see you again. Why didn't you tell me where you'd gone? Dina hadn't a clue, nor did Jack. My letters were returned. Just like you to show up now, with everything such a beastly mess. You must help me. You've no doubt heard the rumors. I won't deny most of them. I can't. Even if the money's gone, I won't give the diamonds to Charles. These are all that remains. My insurance for a new life without Charles or Saoirse. Saoirse? The owner of the Barbican Gallery? We're friends. Of a sort. He's sailing on the Titanic, taking some paintings to New York to sell. Please. I mustn't talk any longer. Take it. Take the necklace. It's my only chance now. Keep it for me. And don't tell Charles you have it. You can't know what he's like.
Come here. Don't you love this sea air? Really clears out the sinuses. Max Seidelman, Philadelphia, PA. Buyer for Haymaker's department store. The Sharpie of Spruce Street, they call me. You a sporting type? You look like the sporting type. Come on down to the smoking room for a nightcap. Riviera's looking for someone to play a few hands of blackjack with. What do you say? Not much else to do. Not tonight. Brr. Cold as a cast iron commode. So, what do you say? Great. First, let's swing by the Parisian Cafe. There's a man there named Zeidel, a German. Claims he's a business, but he's got something up the sleeve, all right. I know the type, believe me. Dollars to donuts, he's in some racket. So come with, why don't you? We'll hit the smoking room from there. Hey, Colonel, how you doing? Willie? Like you to meet a
pleasure. Hedelitz and I, we welcome diversion during such an uneventful passage, don't we?
Certainly.
Willie is at the University of Vienna, dissecting children's fable.
Cultural mythology, it's quite interesting. So only a junior professor, I tried to interest Dr. Freud. He's a genius, and I...
Yes, I am sure, quite. On the passenger list, it says you embarked at Cherbourg. Yet I have not seen you with the others. You were there, were you not? I see. You are British. Not so many of you in Titanic's first cabins. These days, most of the rich are Americans. Businessmen like Max. Tell me, why do you go to New York? I'm envious. Unfortunately, my work does not permit me to indulge in the pleasures of the leisure class.
The theory of the leisure class? I have read Professor Hebron. He's quite good.
Quite. Me? Inspecting our embassies. Imperial Germany desires to make a good impression in North America. Willie is continuing on, to the west, to conduct research on Aboriginal custom.
The Indians, they are fascinating.
Yes. However, I place faith in science, not super...
The Colonel was saying this wireless stuff's revolutionizing sending messages to each other. It's the end of books and newspapers.
Like the Titanic, a technological triumph. Here we dined in comfort while racing along at 20 knots. It's still tied to the outside world by the wireless.
That reminds me, Colonel Seidel, when I go to send you a telegram, they told me it was to be there are too many messages. The passengers...
I am sure our guests do not care to hear a detailed discussion of your encounter with telegraphy. Now, if you will excuse me...
Please, excuse us.
Won't you call on us tomorrow? Here, in the cafe. The Linzer Tort's quite passable for a British ship. Stop by. Willie and I welcome it most heartily.
Yes, most heartily.
And before I leave, you must allow me to give you some advice. But do not wander the ship. It is not good, I think, on a ship as big as the Titanic. Good night, friends.
Good night.
See? What did I tell you? What did I say? Them too. Up to something, I'd say. The brainy kid gives me the creeps. What a grind. He should hang out with that little blonde. She's a looker, I tell you. Come on, let's hit the smoking room. I'll introduce you to Riviera. What do you say? Great. Go on up. I gotta see a man about a horse. I'll meet you in a few. Goodbye. Let me introduce you to Buick Riviera. Remember, he's French, and you know what they... Come here.
Good evening, mon ami. Buick Riviera welcomes you to the tables. I am always delighted to play with friends of Max. You look familiar. We make a meeting before? Deauville? The casino at Monaco? New Mexico. I lived there once. In Diamondback. Such a town. So, have we met? C'est vrai. Then we shall use my special cards.
Good luck. You'll need it.
Care for blackjack? You are the winner. Magnifique. Another hand, mon ami? You have won. Well played. Again? Good night.
How you doing? Buick fleeced you too? You know, you're letting me do all the talking. If you don't mind me asking, just why are you headed to New York? Guess we all got our secrets, don't we? See you around. Good night.
Hello. Don't think we've met. I'm Leyland Sekum Trask, metaphysical scribe and evangelist for the supernatural. I've been in London attending a conference on premonitions among the sensitive. You've heard of my institute, the Astral Bureau of Circulation, in Boston? The ABC is a place where mediums of impeccable character can commingle in harmony. You know, a medium told me the only danger in my life had come on water. Salt or fresh, he did not say. Damn it all, I wish they'd be more specific. That pipe's been someplace quite humid recently. I'd visit the Turkish bath. Good luck. Good night.
The drop location, the boiler rooms, blast. There's an entrance to the lower depths around here somewhere. Query the lift attendant. He's cheeky, but he knows. Intercept the Rubaiyat before it changes hands.
Passenger. I can't regulate the steam for boilers 1 and... So I don't have time for you. You're where you shouldn't be. Get up top before you're kicked up there. Oh, with White Star, are you? I'm glad you... I've got some serious problems with this control panel. Oh, I doubt it. She's really acting up. See? Still working the bugs out. See for yourself. Have at it. There's a gauge showing the turbine's power out. The needle's got to move into the green zone. Over here. Running much smoother now. Say, since you were so interested, go on, have a peek in the engine room. She's quite a sight.
You are a passenger. Excuse me, I would speak with you. Forgive me, I am sorry to intrude on you, a person of such high station. I am Vlad. I have men. I am leaving my home. I am a Serb and they have killed my wife, my children. The Austrian. For that they will pay. But I do not want to burden you. Please, I need a favor. I have a friend in first class, in cabin A14. Mr. Barbican has a package for you. Can you bring it here? I am a stowaway. If I am caught, maybe they throw me overboard. Please get the package. I've eaten nothing since we sailed, save for a rat who is not so fast. His name is Barbican, in A14. Tell him you've come from Vlad. He will give you the package. I wait here for your return. Your assistance will be repaid manyfold.
say, what's your step?
Are you hurt, Henry?
No harm done. No harm.
I'm so sorry.
Trot on my toe.
We're the Goss Joneses from Holt Whistle, you know. How are you finding the crossing? You're English, then? I would have thought American. Oh, my. I didn't mean to insult.
Can't hold a thought.
Dreadfully large place, America.
Brain like as if...
All that space and all those immigrants trying to fill it up. I was just commenting to Henry, on a White Star crossing one meets all the right people. While we were just chatting with a delightful elderly couple in the reception. The Strausses.
Own a small dry goods store in New York somewhere. Called Macy's.
On D-Day.
Ribena, must you always finish my sentences? You're as jumpy as that American chap, that photographer.
Yes, he was just snapping away.
Taking pictures of some German colonel and that Englishman.
Snap, snap, snap.
War's coming, all right. Mark my words.
War? How beastly. Will Mr. Burns have to fight? He and his wife, such sweet things. But I do see her point. It is their honeymoon. Why he insists on snapping those photos, I haven't a clue.
For God's sake, woman, talk, like a madam in a Rangoon bawdy house.
Henry, that's unspeakable.
So don't speak, then. Yaps louder than a scrum of rabid corgis. Now see here, this Burns chap.
If you want to see something interesting, take a look at his pictures. He's on C deck, cabin C, 78.
Yes? You found him. Sasha Barbican of Barbican Gallery. Now, what is it that I can help you with? For Vlad? He's on board? Please come in. He did it. I told him not to, told him I'd pay his ticket, but he was too proud. Such a tragedy about his family. They were with my mother's people. Ask Vlad, I don't know. Here, his things. You'll be glad to get them. It's rather late. When Austria took Bosnia, they were killed. Many were. With his family dead, America seems as good a place as any for Vlad. Our history is quite complex. Certainly, Georgia's a woman who does not go unnoticed. Georgia exudes a certain romantic paranoia, a condition, I fear, worsened by Charles' own romance with whiskey. Not much anyone can do, I'm afraid. George is in clear need of a rest. Georgia? Have you talked to her? You be the judge. She's accused me of outrageous deeds, libelous practically. I'm part Slav, you see, a Serbian on my mother's side. Georgia finds such a mixture a source for wild stories. Continuously. One hears there are financial problems. They say Charles owes Andrew Conkling thousands of pounds. Good night, and don't believe what Lady Georgia says. She's not well. Enjoy your voyage.
Just a minute. Calling on Miss Pringle. She has been invaluable this voyage, a pillar. Oh yes, we're very glad she's with us. They say you met Trask. Be wary of him. Trask's a trickster. Take this card, a prayer card, from my own collection. So you must like it, this section of the Titanic. Here, second class. You can get to Scotland Road from here. Do you know it? Scotland Road? Wait, before you leave, you mentioned that you approved of our work at the mission in Nyasaland. I'd like to add your name to our list of financial backers. An auspicious honor, oh yes. I am very happy. Tomorrow we will discuss everything. Good evening.
I must see Mr. Barbican. I've bad news. He will not be happy. I am looking for something. Something very important. But it's not here. You have seen a small... It is of no importance. Good night.
Did you get it? Did you find the Rubaiyat? Smashing. What have you learned? I was wondering how you got so dirty. There's a spot on your cheek. Yes, right there. You got it. More art? Zeitel's no connoisseur. No, there's something about that painting of interest to the German High Command. I don't have any information about Vlad, but the other fellow, look here. Zeitel's Titanic contact is a London art dealer named Sasha Barbican. They say he smuggles art, and he's not above selling stolen merchandise. The files say he's Serbian, interestingly enough, with links to some shady Balkan groups. Let me see. That's the Rubaiyat, all right. Well done. Leave it with the purser for safekeeping. It shall be undisturbed there. The painting's what Zeitel's really after. You must secure it. Where or how, I don't care. Just find it and bring it back here. Remember, leave the Rubaiyat with the purser for safekeeping. He might also know where the painting's. Sneak a peek at his cargo manifest. That should help you find the painting. Cargo stored somewhere beneath the forecastle deck. Things are thickening up quite nicely, aren't they? We've got to get our hands on that painting. Don't fail.
Oh, what do you want? Why, what do you know? Not that it matters. I'm much too busy. I must get this message through from Mr. Thayer. Mr. Thayer expects his private train car to meet him in New York, and I can't leave my post. But I need to send this telegram. Help? Yes, it might be helpful if you delivered this message to the wireless room for me. Even better, why don't you send it for me? Mr. Thayer is a very important man. So send the telegram at once. And when you have, don't forget to tell me. Very nice. Security is our first priority. I'll put it in the safe. Very good then. Good night.
Good evening. Third Officer Morrow here. I am sorry, but this is the officers' promenade. No passengers allowed. Yes, though the only thing to watch is the wireless room. They just keep bringing up more messages. Wireless telegraphy is all the rage these days. Not tonight, I'm afraid. I've got an uneasy feeling. Something seems wrong. Yes, very calm. No moon. I don't like that. Can't see what's coming. No moon means surprises, as if we don't have enough already. Mr. Ismay, the White Star Line's president's on board.
We're walking eggshells round him, I tell you. Though that's nothing compared to the creeping about my brother-in-law's doing at the... His entire London office is in an uproar. Tom works in the Admiralty. Seems our plans for troop deployments against Germany disappeared 3 weeks ago. Tom says the big boys have petrified the Jerrys who get wind of it. Could upset the balance of power. Politics. Desktop espionage. Bureaucrats. Pah, give me the sea. You can toss the rest. Never have. Not since the war. Lucky. No, I wouldn't think that I was. South Africa. Boer War. The officer was a drinker. He was drunk when they trapped us out on the veldt. On a moonless night. It was a massacre. We never saw them coming. Drink always leads to the devil. An interesting connection. For all I know, it could be true. A man's got his troubles. Sick child, being away from home. But I hate whiners and apologizers. Well, thank you for your insight. Have a look, why don't you? Mind you, Phillips will have my head if he catches you in there, but I don't see any harm. Go on in.
Yes, can I help you? You sent it? Marvelous. I was afraid you'd... Mr. Thayer'll be most grateful. And let them think the purser's not doing his job. I am the purser, and as purser, I am the one who looks after the passengers. Mr. Thayer is vice president of the Pennsylvania Railroad, and it is I who shall inform the Thayers that their train will be waiting. So, if you'll excuse me... Yes, can I help you? Away, go away, I'm too... Mr. Isidore Strauss, he's lost a cufflink, and he's so particular. How should I know? There's more than enough passengers on this ship to keep me hopping. Old Mr. Strauss could make things very difficult. Yes, very difficult. Thank you. It is a gold cufflink. Mr. Strauss will be very grateful. Yes, can I help you? Wonderful. Mr. Strauss will be quite pleased that I found his cufflink. I shall deliver it at once. I'm just sure his gratitude will be reflected most generously.
Nobody's allowed to... You've got the keys. You're a carter. Of course you can enter. Right this way. Come to visit your new automobile, have you? Can't say I blame you. She's a beauty. Gleaming like a new pen. Right this way. Mind your head, it's dark in there. You'll find your way from here.
Did you get the painting? Splendid. But now something else has come up. That snooty steward Smethels was looking for you. Find him and kick him smartly in the shins. Here's a message for you.
Still wondering? This ship holds a strange fascination for you. Most peculiar. I've a message from a young German gentleman by the name of Haderlitz. He would like to meet you in the squash court. They've opened it for him. Highly irregular, I must say, especially for fencing. Yes, apparently he does not favor racket sports. If memory serves me, there is an entrance to the squash courts on D-deck. Meanwhile, I shall inform the young German gentleman that you will meet him presently.
Wandering. I had advised you against it. Young people, they listen to no one nowadays. May I help you in your search? I am looking for something as well. Willy von Haderlitz has been the most irresponsible. He has disobeyed me and misplaced a favorite painting, one destined for the German embassy. A faux pas of the first magnitude. A rather charming street scene by a young Viennese painter. For someone with insomnia, you ask quite a lot of questions. What did you say your profession was? As I have observed, stay away from German business. Germany wants land, industries, and material, and we will fight to get it. Britain and America will try to stop this, but we will know your plans. And if there's war, Germany will win. But enough politics. This has been such a civilized voyage, so let us meet tomorrow in the cafe, yes? The band? They play Strauss so well. Until then, auf Wiedersehen.
Thank you for coming. I do not meet so many people on the Titanic. It is a pity. I like the English. I wish I knew more of them. Now you have the opportunity of fencing with me. 3-time champion of my university. You are also an excellent athlete, yes? Colonel Seidel believes it so. The Colonel is very seldom confused about anything. You will play. If you win, perhaps I relate to you some stories. En garde. Allons-y. Allons-y. Touchez. Allez. Allons-y. Et là. Allons-y. Ah, verdammt. Allons-y. Touchez. Allons-y. Et là. Allons-y. Touchez. You are the loser. How unfortunate. The Titanic, how quickly she is moving. The engines are loud here. We are nearing the Grand Banks. The Vikings thought this part of the North Atlantic cursed. Even modern sailors call it the Devil's Hole, a place of deadly surprise. Things aren't always what they seem, yes? Like me, for example. I am German, but I am also a friend to others. Perhaps even the English. Another match. Afterwards, we can tell more tales. Another match. En garde. Allons-y. Et là. Allez. Sehr gut. Allons-y. Allons-y. Sehr gut. Allons-y. Touchez. Allons-y. Et là. Allez. Ah, verdammt. Allons-y. Ah. You are a great athlete. You do? Remember, only one thing is certain, and the rest is lies. It is a quote from an old book I had the recent opportunity to read. But I tell you more. I am associate professor at the University of Vienna. I document the mythos, the legends of mankind. I'm on my way to New Mexico to study the Yoni Indians under Dr. van der Plaas. I am interested in what Dr. Freud calls the unconscious mind, what happens below the surface of experience. Tell me, what frightens you more, fire or ice? The ancient Aryans believed man would see 4 ages. According to them, this is now the Wolf Age, an age that ends with ice. After the Wolf Age ends, mankind shall experience a fire that will burn for 2 generations. Clearly a metaphor for a war we must all try to prevent. Yes? Why do you assume he is interested in paintings? Yes, art. That is what I meant. And you are mistaken. Colonel Seidel cares little for art, unlike his friend Herr Barbicon. I notice he likes old Vienna, for he has many pictures of the city. If the fire comes, my friends will favor the English over Germany. Another match? En garde. Allons-y. Ah, verdammt. Allons-y. Touchez. Allez. Allons-y. Et là. Allez. Ah. Allez. Touchez. Allez. Ah. Allons-y. Ah, verdammt. You fence well? Take this in friendship. May it bring you luck. A thing I fear we shall all need. But if anything should happen to me, I trust you will know what to do. Very good. You have proven yourself. And I must confide in Colonel Seidel suspects I fail my friends more than Germany. He's right. Another match? En garde. Allons-y. Touchez. Allons-y. Touchez. Allez. Touchez. Allez. Sehr gut. Allons-y. Et là. Allons-y. Allons-y. Allez. Allons-y. You fence well. You are a great athlete. Another match? Let us meet later. I will tell you more. For now, keep the ring. I bid you good night.
What did our young Mr. Hadelitz want? I'll see if I can dig something up on him. Their partnership appears to be dissolving. Who else knows young Hadelitz? Talk to anyone who may have seen him. Hadelitz's ring. Maybe Trask can tell you more about it. Finally, you're on the right trail. Follow those leads.
I say, how are you getting on?
Getting on? We use gangplanks, if I remember.
Quick as a cow, she is. Seen Guggenheim about?
Such a gentleman, extremely attentive to the...
Especially his mistress. They say he stashed her on board somewhere.
Really, Henry? Not Mr. Guggenheim?
The Titanic's not a damned rectory, you know.
But Henry...
Quite the randy old goat from what I...
My goodness, I've forgotten completely. I have a message for you. Mr. Trask in D2 said you were to meet him where honor and glory crown time. Where honor and glory crown time? What do you think he meant? Good night.
You've arrived. I was expecting you. I was just holding court with these two ladies. Honor and glory. Crowning time. They say 100 wood carvers worked on the Titanic. Such effort. Now in such danger. Yes, for the ship. And for a mutual acquaintance. I see your friend, Willy von Haderlitz. He is in very great danger. The ring. Yes, did you notice the Russian characters on the inside band? Willy has a hidden life. There's a girl, a pretty girl. Haderlitz knows her. Show her the ring. She'll help you. Good luck. Good night.
Charles received a telegram from the solicitors. Our estate's to be sold off. He asked about the necklace I gave you. I told him I left it with a purser. Don't say anything to him or Sasha. Not him and his group of... Oh, there's much more to tell you. Can you meet me in my stateroom? I'm in B7. It's Charles' custom to go for a drink in the smoking room. When he does, visit me.